Hello ladies and gentlemen, I'm the Crypto Realist and this is my third video. It's the 12th of August 2017. I'm not a professional investor and this is not professional advice. However, I think the advice I do give you will be a lot better than a lot of the other coin shillers out there and those trying to sell a course. I'm not going to say who, but you should have a good idea who. And this video I'm going to try and be a bit more light-hearted because the topic of the video kind of, can come across as a bit negative, but in a way, it's a positive because I'm going to be telling you coins that I don't think you should invest in. These are coins that I think are clone coins of other ones that are already very established, or ones that don't have a good value proposition or anything unique about them that they're doing on the blockchain, or ones that are as well, are on the blockchain but they don't really need to be. There's no benefit to it. And also any coins that are just not going anywhere for one of those reasons, and they're merely for pump and dumps. So the topic for this video is my top coins to avoid. I bet you don't see many people do videos telling you about the coins to avoid. Usually it's the ones where they're telling you to invest in, but we all know why usually. On to the topic. What coins to avoid? You can see my tabs open here to give you an overview. So if you don't want to, watch the video or listen any further into my reasons, then just look at that list along the top and then be on your way. But if you're invested in any of these coins and you want to know my opinion, here we go. Right, my first coin on the list is probably going to be a bit controversial because it's so popular, but it's a Siacoin. Now, as we can see on Siacoin, it has been almost, it's very characteristic of a pump and dump, a very drawn out pump and dump. Pump and dump from May to July, and I think now it's just going to fall dead on its ass. The reason for this is not because of its the reason that it's falling a lot, and I don't think it will ever really recover, and I think it's going to fall off the radar, is not its value proposition, but just the way that the blockchain has to interact with their value proposition. So their value proposition is decentralized cloud storage. And the main two reasons why I struggle to, have faith in this is, one, because of the competition, and two, does it really need a blockchain to provide what they're providing? Do people really care about their cloud storage being decentralized when, Amazon is very trustworthy to begin with and probably as cheap as it can get? I'd be surprised if Siacoin can provide cloud storage any cheaper, but apparently they say they can. And secondly, not just based on that, but also just from an investing point of view, the coins are used to pay for the cloud storage, and constantly new coins are being mined, pushing down the value of Siacoin, which, you'd say, well, a lot of coins are mined, but the difference with this is that the coins are very expendable in terms of having to use a lot to pay for their service, and two, these coins are highly inflationary because from next year onwards they're releasing their obelisks, which is their ASIC miners, which will be generating new coins at an incredible rate, which will drive the price down even further. So I can't see the value of these coins going anywhere. The business may work and you might be able to get cheap cloud hosting, but from an investment point of view, this is definitely not really a coin. I think that's good for that. And secondly, another coin that has what I like is a good USP, but from an investment point of view, I don't think is very good, is Steem. I mean, the website, it just looks and functions like a bad version of Reddit at the moment, but we give it time and it might be good. But from an investment point of view, and if you're expecting gains, this is not a coin to go for. This is a currency that people use to pay it forward in terms of giving people Steem when they do a good comment or post something good on Steem, and that people can vote for it and people can earn Steem coins from that. But Steem's more for doing that and exchanging coins, but not something I can see Wells or anyone wanting to invest and hold. I think once there's a very basic foundation of enough currency to circulate within the Steem community, I think that would be it then. So I think even with the current price, I don't think it's going to really increase anymore. It's got a 304 million market cap, and I don't think you're going to get much gains from this going forwards. And I'd be very surprised if Steem got anywhere near as big as what Reddit has. It might do, but in 10, 20 years' time. But if you're willing to wait that long just to make maybe 5 or so gains, then great. But I'd rather invest in a coin that's going to get me those kind of gains sooner. If you're looking at my Chrome tabs, you'll see the next coin is a Chaincoin, and this one's even more controversial. I mean, we know that Max Lee has been doing his advanced HODL technology, which as you can see from the charts, hasn't been working very well. There's been 2 quite obvious pumps there, and the value's gone right down to almost back to where it started back here. So anyone that invested in it, apart from the few early people, everyone else would have lost money on that. And that's a clear sign of a pump and dump. And Max Lee might have had good intentions behind it, but at the end of the day, it's an open free market. You can't control Wells or anyone else going in and out of these markets. So even trying to suggest what he was trying to do is just crazy. From purely a value proposition, Chaincoin is just a masternode clone coin. There's plenty of other masternodes that are now very well established, and there's a lot of masternode coins that people think they can get cheap masternodes with by buying 1,000 or so coins and then making some money from it. But coins like Chaincoin, they have no liquidity, volume, so no one's going to be making money off of them. They're a clone coin, and without a USP, these won't ever have a volume, because there's no reason to invest in a coin such as this unless it's for a pump and dump. Yes, Max said a community can get behind it, but if all the other fundamentals are very poor or don't exist, then the coin has no longevity. I mean, without digressing too much, my opinion on this is that there's probably a few people that were in on this and knew it was going to pump, and then let some of these people put a lot of money into it, get the community to get on the hype train, and then they pulled out. Max must have foreseen this, and also I'd be very from just a probabilistic point of view, he must have profited in one way or another quite highly from this, because if he predicted what was going to happen, which he would have because of the way he encouraged it through his videos, encouraging new naive investors into it, then what happened is what he would have most likely expected. So if he and he would have foreseen the potential backlash from this. So if he knew he was going to get a backlash, then I'd be very surprised if he didn't make a lot of gains from this to at least justify the backlash that he was going to foresee from this. If he didn't, then he's took a lot of backlash from the coin for no reason, and he spent a lot of time doing YouTube videos with the initial hype on it. So all that time he spent in YouTube doing the videos, hyping it up, and the backlash from it, he must have seen that coming, and the only way he could have justified that in his mind is if he made a big profit from this. So in looking at the chart, a usual sign that a coin is about to pump or there's some type of manipulation going is if you see a little spike. So there's a little spike there, which was, when people in the know, Max or his friends, got him. So it was going along around 1 million market cap, and then all of a sudden there's a little spike to 2 mil. So there's about $1 million worth of investment of someone, Max, etc., putting money into that before doing the videos. And the charts don't lie. I mean, the charts there show us what activity was going on. And then some of the people maybe in some of the YouTubers groups got in on it as well and managed to whack it up to 5-6 mil. People from the video started investing and took it up to around 10 mil upwards. So my point of view on this is that Max knew what he was doing. What he did isn't illegal, but when it comes to ethics, it's not very ethical at all. And he knew he stood to profit from this, and just like any good salesman, he got lots of people to buy into something they didn't need. Okay, so along with Chaincoin, a cheap masternode coin, the other ones that kind of follow on from that I recommend not to invest in is Neutron, and Linda, just all coins that seem to be noob traps for people that want to get cheap masternodes. Neutron, I was looking at this on the market or in Cryptopia and actually seeing when was a good time to buy in, but there seems to be a whale with a few $1,000s of a sell and buy wall that seems to be scalping off profits, which is why after this initial pump there hasn't really been any major fluctuations because of one or two whales that seem not whales in terms of the market cap, because it's only a few $1,000s, but they've got a massive buy and sell wall on Cryptopia that's stopping this coin from going anywhere, because unless you can invest more, they're just scraping all the profits off of that. And I haven't really looked into and Linda, but I suspect a similar thing is happening in terms of just looking at the charts there. And for my final coin, which I was initially optimistic about, but then once I did a bit more research, I realised that actually it goes against what the whole point of the blockchain. And even then, there's other coins that do what it does just as well and are more established, is Polybius. So here, it's a very new coin, but it's been slowly just kind of dithering along, slowly losing value. And I think people are starting to realise that it doesn't have a real USP towards it. It's working alongside the banks, and I think there were some promises made about working with one of the banks. But at the end of the day, this is a blockchain project for regulation with a bank. So there might be something where it takes off in the future. It seems like a very professional outfit, the company, the website, and the roadmap looks promising, but this is a risky coin, and if you invest in it, it's definitely a long-term coin at best. And in terms of value proposition, I wouldn't be surprised if Ripple manages to overshadow Polybius and get a lot of banks on board with them instead. I would say ignoring the chart and just boiling it down to its fundamentals, I would say these coins are just not ones to invest in if you plan on making a profit from that investment. Some of these coins will likely continue, especially Siacoin and Steem, and they may thrive within the communities and the service they provide, but purely from an investment point of view, I struggle to see how people are going to profit from these. Well, I hope you thought this was useful. If you've got a good reason why you think I should invest in any of these coins, let me know. But with the amount of coins on the market that are so strong in their value proposition and how established they are and the amount of money and resources they have behind them, I struggle to see how investing in any coins like these are any good for an investment. Thanks for your time, and I'll see you in the next video.